Shapiro, here we go. Knows the road rules better than most folks know. Ask your questions, bring the heat or keep it chill. He's got the answers and a license to spill. Ask a traffic cop, Sean's your guy. Breaking it down, no lie, no tie. Knows the stuff and things to keep you clear. Ask away, he's the voice you want to hear. Badge, now a podcast star, navigating traffic laws near and far. Stop sign confusions or a signal light feud. Sean's the one to give you the right attitude. Yeah, ask a traffic cop, Sean's your guy. Breaking it down, no lie, no tie. Knows the stuff and things to keep you clear. Ask away, he's the voice you want to hear. From this man. Ask a traffic cop, Sean's your guy. Breaking it down, no lie, no tie. Knows the stuff and things to keep you.
What's going on? Just cleaning my glasses. Yeah, I got that. I had 20 seconds left. I'm like, I could do it in 20 seconds. I couldn't do it in 20 seconds. What's going on, everybody? Hope your Friday is going well. It is. I'm excited to be here. I'm always excited on Fridays because that means no work Saturday. It's a pretty awesomeness thing going on here. And good morning to Grandma, who just jumped in, and quite literally, username is Grandma. Glad that you joined us. We've got Fotografias 12. I know who you are. They said hello on Instagram. And Peter John Williams, and we got them. And A Police says, well, they didn't say anything, but they joined. How's it going, everybody? My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer who talks about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. And I do it to help you. That's why I do it. It's quite literally why I do it. Turf and, we'll talk about this in a second. But which button is that? We're going to talk about Great Canadian Driving Games in a sec. But first, I want to thank, wrong button. That's the button. First, I want to thank Diamond and Diamond. They're my sponsors. You see them in the backdrop along with the fine folks at Barrett Legal. But they help me make the show possible. And then this button was the podcast, because we have a podcast. And the podcast is the first one this year I posted, Traffic Jam, talking about, jamming about traffic stuff and things. And we're starting off with the fine folks at Turf and Safe Roads Challenge, because they have this joint thingamabobber. What is a thingamabobber? My kids ask me that. Anyway, Great Canadian Driving Games is a sub game on the Safe Roads Challenge app. And the idea is you download this app onto your phone. It tracks your driving. It reports anonymously back to Traffic Injury Research Foundation, TURF, about your driving habits, but they don't know it's you. So if you do really well, that's great for you. For them, they don't care. They just want the data. Where are you driving? How fast you're driving? Are you cornering too fast? Are you cornering, braking really aggressively? Are you using your phone? Are you speeding? That's the kind of stuff that they anonymously find out about. It's not the same as the app that tells your insurance company that you're breaking the rules so they can charge you more money. That's not what this is. This is about helping people. It's about keeping the roads safe, and I love it. I am playing the game. Why is it a game? Because it tells me how I'm doing. With my phone, I will show you. Actually, I've had a couple of trips that I forgot to import, because what happens is you clickety-click, Safe Roads Challenge. See, it loads up. Boom, 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 boom. So you go in there, and then you go into trips, and it will ask you to claim them. Once it processes them, hey, there's all my trips. How long? And can you see that? There you go. How long, for what distance? 11 minutes, 14 minutes. I didn't go very far. No big trips. I'm going to claim the trips. We have the choice of claiming the trip or saying you were a passenger on the trip. Why is that stuff? Oh, I see why. It's the green screen. It's a green button, so it looks weird. Then it goes and tells you that it collects them. You'll see a little splash. Safe driving streak. And then it's going to woo. Color things are weird because I got a green screen going on. But those are entries towards the $100,000 grand prize. Tells me what my score on my last trip was. It's under 80. Normally it's 80 to 90. So what did I do different? Well, you can see by breaking it down. I'm deep diving into this early in the morning before we get into other stuff. But yeah, it tells you how your cornering is, how your stuff is. It keeps the streak going. It's cool. I like it. I'm competing against myself and anybody else who thinks they're better than me. Let me know. Download the app, install it. Then we're going to get it. I've still been working on getting I just got an email from Bill talking about making a voiceover cop team. And you can join it. But in the meantime, install it. Tell me what you think. We got stuff to talk about. If you're watching on TikTok, I just remember that I should probably pull my laptop, my tabletski out. Oh, by the way, I have cool stickers. Just saying. I want to go and get the. Here we go. What's it going on here? Did it log in? No, it's doing weird stuff. Weird stuff. There we go. If you are watching and you're watching on TikTok, do me a favor. Please tap the screen till your fingers go numb. It really helps the algorithm know that we're doing stuff and things, talking about traffic safety, traffic law until at least 11 o'clock. That's just how we're going to do things today. Now, historically, I go way over time. I'm really trying to stay onto the 1 hour limit. So get your questions in. Also, you can send me voicemail by going to askatrafficcop.ca. I'm really, really proud of the new website. It's really coming along. It's not finished. It's growing all the time. But one of the coolest things that I've added, and if you're looking for dash cameras or any kind of safety equipment, I put a page on askatrafficcop.ca that has links to products on Amazon. And we do, the Better Traffic Safety organization does get a small, what's it called? Affiliate commission. If you buy any of those things, buy it any way you want. That's my list of things I think are worthy of having. If you buy it through the link, it helps us out because we need to pay for stuff. This subscription just to be able to do the broadcasting is like $1,500 a year. That's coming out of my pocket. That's the multi-broadcast thing. It really helps to be able to have money that comes in to augment that. So, yeah, I don't need you to pay out of pocket. Don't give me money. But if you buy something that you're going to buy anyway, buy it after using one of those links and it will make like 5% or 3%, depends on the product. And that would be nice. Okay. Texas Walker Ranger, the real one, just joined. Hello, welcome to you. Bad Words Master, that dumbass is back. Says, great use of taxpayer money here. Dumb. This is privately funded. It's not you who's paying for this. It's me. And I have the help of Diamond and Barrett Legal. They do help out as well. But it's not public money. I was doing this as a police officer, but if you would care to read before spilling your silliness on the screen, you would see that it says former police officer. That would suggest that you are not paying me. The public money isn't being used. However, when it was being used to pay for the show, it was the absolute best use of public money ever, because if you needed to ask a police officer a question, you were paying someone $120,000 to speak to you. That's what they were making, $120,000 for a first-class constable. And if you had a 30-minute conversation with someone making that kind of money, how much did it cost the city then? Well, we could do the math, can we? Let's figure it out, just for argument's sake. Okay. We're going to say 120,000. We're going to do, what is it? What does it work out to? It's, I think you have to start factoring in. Let's just make it easy. We're going to divide by it. We're going to say it's about $50 an hour. Okay. Actually, it's about $50 an hour. So it's actually just a little bit more, but $50 an hour, you're going to take half an hour of my time, or an hour is $50 to talk to you. But the $50 for the 1 hour show the Toronto Police invested in me when I was doing it spoke to thousands. So the price per unit, let's just say we spoke to 500. We'll say 1,000 people. That was on average. Actually, I had up to 40,000 people in lives before. So if it's the $50 for the hour, and we'll take that, we'll just say 100 people. It's 50 cents per person, taxpayer dollars. My God, that's efficiency at its best. 50 cents instead of 50. But when I had 50,000 people in, what does that work out to? It's just moving decimal places over, but yeah. It was actually 40,000. Here we go. So it's 0.00125 cents for the hour that went to each person. But you know what? I mean, you want to complain by all means. I like, by the way, for anyone who worries about trolls, they actually make me laugh and entertain me. So when they come in here, I'm not offended, but I do like making fun of them because that's they get to be the focus of my aggression. The link the link to the website is askatrafficcop.ca, and I realize that I should probably put that on the screen. What a good idea! Thank you for having that idea. I don't even have a link for that. Here, let me create that. Here we go. Official website. I guess we should spell it out. Here we go. Official website, askatrafficcop.ca. Now you don't have to change the case. It's not case sensitive, but I make it case sensitive. It makes it look. Ooh, wrong button. Where'd it go? Here we go. Went right to the top of the list. Official website. Looks so official when I say official. Askatrafficcop.ca. Yeah. Check it out. You can leave me voicemail there. You can peruse. I even have it set up to tell you when the next show is. And it talks about, we have a page for the show schedule, but it also talks about upcoming events. The next one, I think, is June 2nd. Well, let's look at it. Let's look at the website. Hang on. I had it all set up. Did I mess it up? No, I had it set up and I needed to move things around. Here we go. Ask a Traffic Cop. There's the website. Like it. I like it a lot. Here, we're going to share it with you so you can see. Boom. So this is the website, and I'm really digging it. You've got a window here where you can actually watch. If we press it, we'll have it all set up. Did I mess it up? No, I had it set up. See, look at that. With only a minor delay. And then we've got the podcast on this side, this show schedule. I love it. Monday, May 12th at 10 a.m. Look at that. Why does that say May 12th? Well, that's because the next show after today, that's why it says May 12th. And Monday, it's not Monday today, it's Friday. It's the next show, the show that you're seeing. Anyway, down the rabbit hole I go as I confuse myself on a Friday morning. We have the banner here. I love it. I love it. If you scroll down, you've got the safety products link here. You've got the safety product. I love it. Here. Okay. If you got ideas for things that I think that you think I should share with other people, let me know. There's a form here. Isn't it nice? Dash cams. This is the dash cam question I get all the time. I say, ThinkWare U3000, best thing you can do. Bloody expensive, but best thing you can do. I have the U1000. They've upgraded since, and I haven't gotten to the point of replacing it because I just put it in. But this one is the Cadillac. Is Cadillac the cream of the crop? It used to be the Cadillac of dash cams. That's what we used to say for fancy stuff. But now, is it the Mercedes of dash cams? I don't know. I don't know what the right one is. Mile 5 is more budget friendly. It's a lot cheaper. But this is something you probably weren't expecting to see. A body cam. Why would anyone have a body cam? Well, it's funny. I was watching a website channel that I like on drones, and they were talking about body cams for drone operators. I'm like, well, why would you need that? And then they showed a video, and it made perfect sense. I'm like, I'm buying one. I need this because you're flying a drone, and we'll say Karen comes by and starts telling you the law when they don't know the law, and then they're going to call the police and complain. Well, press the button, record the interaction. I love it. I love dash cam. I love dash cams because they're an independent recording of what happened. I love body cams for police because they're an independent recording of what happened. And I love the whole body cam for private security and private people because people pull out a cell phone and start waving it around. But what happens when that person that you're waving it around in front of to capture legitimately because they're harassing you? What happens when they put hands on you and you got to defend yourself? Well, your $3,000 or $2,000 phone, I buy the top of the line, the largest storage. It's a $2,000 to $3,000 phone after taxes. Goes flying, destroyed, maybe stolen, gone. You keep that in your pocket. Use a body cam. I think it's great. Anyway, we're really off topic, but things to help prevent you from getting your car stolen. It's not about eliminating the risk. It's about making your vehicle less attractive to thieves. So I got some products there. Faraday bags and carriages. Faraday cages. It's Faraday bags. Faraday cage is something that prevents radio signals from being transmitted through it. Flashlights and stuff I like. I love flashlights. I really like this one. This is the EDC, slides into your pocket, doesn't catch on things the way that one here with the burrs. I love this for smacking people in the forehead. This one I like for having discreet light. And I love my multi-tools. Got to have one on my belt at all times. Emergency situation, got to have a window brake and seatbelt cutter. You just got to have it. Flares, we started using electronic flares in the Toronto Police for ride programs instead of the chemical ones. These, you can drive over them. Like this is not the same. These are cheapies. These are $40. There's a couple different versions. I have LED versions that I link to, and then which I like that are battery rechargeable batteries. Problem is, if you don't charge them, they don't work, and you need them to work. I like the ones that actually use AAA's, so you can always have a pack of AAA's in the car fresh. You just keep changing them out. And this is visible. I put the stuff that I think is important, and this one I get a lot of questions on. These were the child car seats that I used and I like. Not that I used. I didn't put my ass in any of these. These were what my kids used. And I was really happy with them. So I can endorse them saying that I used them because I did. And I'm an instructor. I can actually teach child, I can't even say the title, CPSC, child, what the hell does it stand for now? I've got a certificate in it. I don't even know what the hell it's called. Hang on a second. CPST, what the heck? Child passenger technician safety, CPST. It's child passenger safety technician. My brain just absolutely unplugged on this one. Yeah, this is who does the majority. I'm actually with St. John's Ambulance, who doesn't call me back when I call them, but it's child passenger safety technician. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Anyway, I do have the course. I do know what I'm doing, even if I can't speak at it. And I share that information there. But I think the coolest thing on the aside from my floating head, is the recording ability for you to send me a message. Okay, getting back to stuff and things about you, because I as much as I am enamored by my website, you may not be. Okay, moving on. We've got good morning from Big Jeff Fresh. We got greetings and salutations from Michaela Draconis. He's back from first aid training, right on. And he's doubling down. It was a great use of taxpayer money before Sean retired. I 100%. And Big Jeff Fresh says, I mean, assuming Sean is still paying taxes, this is a great use of his money. I am paying taxes. Although I got a refund this year. I got overtaxed last year, which is nice. I like when they give me money. It's rare, so I'll take it. Let's see what's going on here on the tickety talk. Tick tock talk. Can you get a doctor's note for darker tints if you have a skin condition? Not in Ontario. There is no medical exemption for tinted windows in Ontario. Other jurisdictions might have it. I think BC might have it. But yeah, you are not permitted to have illegal or super dark tints. You can have UV filters. You can have clear tint that protects you from UV light, which is really in most windows already. But at the end of the day, there are garments, you can buy clothing that has UV protection. I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that you cannot tint your windows illegally. And the problem with anything where you do have these exemptions, and I'm not suggesting that you would do this, but other people abuse the law. Yeah, they do it just to get tinted windows. Not saying you would, but other people do. And that's it screws it up for everybody else. Which camera are you using on a motorcycle? I'm trying to decide between helmet mounted using DJI clip you recommended or a fork mounted Insta360. So for true dash camera, I think that the one from you or from Thinkware, which I thank you for reminding me, I'll now put a link on that website because there is a motorcycle version of the Thinkware, and my friend has it on his Goldwing, and I think it's a really awesome thing. See, the thing is with anything mounted is you have to charge it, make sure you turn it on and use it properly. Anything that is hardwired into the motorcycle runs on the battery of the motorcycle. It runs all the time and specifically records any incident with that whole back 30 seconds bit. I don't think any of the other devices have an impact incident or a tap and go back 30 seconds. You're ultimately recording all the time, and then you have to delete your files and record all the time. And then how do you find the incidents when you find the incidents? Speaking of which, let's show you something. Can I press this? Can I press that? No, I'm gonna press this. Hang on, we're gonna pull up a video. This was this is a video I posted yesterday.
The tape and catch the jam. One of these folks forgot the rules, or maybe more, playing traffic fools. Could be a left when they should have gone right. Could be a stop that flew out of sight. Keep your eyes peeled, it's going down. Someone's acting like a circus clown. Say what you see, don't let it slide. Drop a comment, take a side. Was it one or was it three who broke the law on your TV? It might surprise you who's at fault. Replay it once, it's your call. Tell us what you think you saw. Who just broke the traffic law? You're the judge, the screens you caught. Call them out, give
Did you see this? What is that? I mean, there's three people who did some dumb stuff. Two of them were really, really dumb. I'm having so much fun with this whole dash cam court. Okay, so in that video, I'll just scroll back for a second. You have a red light for everybody. There's no advanced here. If you watch, I'm gonna mute it. Mute. Okay. When you finally see these, it's green, and before this vehicle had I'm moving my mouse on it like you can see. You can't see me moving my mouse. Before the Tesla in front of me, this is my hood here, has an opportunity to go straight. The dum-dum in the pickup, someone said it was a Tundra. I haven't been paying attention. And the dum-dum directly behind the dum-dum in the Tundra decides to make a left turn in the path of the vehicle who has the right of way. Now, I will say this. In the event of a collision, this Tesla was very aggressive, and this Tesla would be found to be somewhat responsible because they couldn't proceed safely, but they did have the right of way. And when the people made the left turn in front of the Tesla, they committed the offense of stunt driving. Both of those vehicles are guilty of stunt driving, 14-day impound, 30-day driver's license suspension, a charge that has a consequence of $2,000 to $10,000 in fines, up to 6 months in jail. It could do the fines, the jail, or both, and a 1 to 3 year driving prohibition on the first conviction. It goes up to a 3 to 10 year on the second time. Third time they do stupid stuff like this, they could lose their license for life. And I think that's appropriate. A lot of people say, well, they did it without causing a collision. I'm like, but that doesn't mean it's like saying I sped at 200 kilometers an hour, but I didn't crash, so I shouldn't get a ticket. No, dum-dum, you get a ticket for 200 if you get caught. And that's where people think, well, it's only if you get caught, so it must be okay. Like the rationale, the rationalizing that people do is shocking. Now, I'll just hang on 1 second here. We'll play this clip. This is the other clip. This is from my dash cam as well. And look at this. We're driving in a neighborhood. I'm just picking up food, and I am behind this car, which is kind of like just doesn't know where it's going, not signaling, slowing down in an intersection. I know what's going to happen. This dum-dum's going to make a U-turn. I knew it was going to happen. That's why I slowed down, but I made a point of being close enough that they saw me, and we had some nonverbal communication is what happened. Yeah. And they waved like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. And then we continued along our way. It is an everyday situation that people do dumb stuff behind the wheel. You have to be switched on. You have to be paying attention, because if you're not, you're going to end up in a collision. And at the end of the day, their fault, your fault. Who cares? Your day is screwed. Your car is messed up. Your money is gone, because whether it's yours or theirs, there's going to be a disruption in your life. And that's where we're at. We're all about trying to reduce these things. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer who talks about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. If you have questions about traffic safety, traffic law, or police stuff, well, then you're in the right place, and you should be following this channel and asking questions and participating, because that's what it's all about. Hey, Melody, how you doing? Good to see you. Melody's a mechanic. She's in the chat. And yeah, if you're watching on TikTok, please like and share and tap that screen so your fingers go numb. If you're in another platform, please follow, please share, and know that all of these live streams are archived forever and ever and ever and ever on YouTube. As well as rebroadcast as podcast episodes on Spotify and apps like iHeartRadio podcast and, of course, Apple Podcasts, which are amazing. I love the fact that you can download them, synchronize them to your phone, listen to them while you drive, so you don't end up getting a ticket for using your phone or watching something you shouldn't, or at very least not even burning your data, because I understand how precious those things are. Okay, I is moving on. Motorcycle Experience says, I love it how Ontario is very struck with MTO than other provinces in Canada. What do you mean? Do you mean strict? Was that a typo? I love it how Ontario is very strict with MTO. I don't know what you're asking. Ask me again, rephrase it so I can pick up what you're putting down. Paul says, good morning, Sean. Good morning. All regional races at CTMP this weekend. Right on. Paul works or volunteers there. I don't remember if you said you volunteered. I thought you said that. But either way, I am making it a mission to come visit Paul this summer. I'm looking forward to being there, and I will be there because my buddy Brian has races. I'm sure IMSA class races that he'll be doing. Okay. F King Trucking. I know what you're saying, but I love the name. I'm just not going to read it. Why is doing a roadside safety inspection on a big truck considered safe? This is dangerous for troopers, truck drivers, and traveler passing the inspection. So they want to know why. I just completely garbled the last sentence, but this is dangerous for troopers, truck driver, and traveler passing the inspection location. So generally speaking, an inspection happening at the side of the road usually is, at least in the GTA or Toronto Police doing it, will have the vehicle pull off to another location. So when I was involved in roundups or stings, we would find the vehicles, we'd have them follow us back to a predefined safe location where we had MTO and Toronto Police and other police services working together to do proper inspections. A minor inspection, if we're just doing a visual, like I saw a truck that had some defect. I don't remember when it was. We were on our way to the police college, happened to be behind the trailer. The trailer was completely unsafe. Something was happening. Either the suspension had a cracked leaf spring, or something was up. We had them pull over. I could see it from where I was, so I didn't. That's not a full inspection. That was just like, there's a major defect, and that's different. So if you're stopping the vehicle, like, I'm not letting you drive away, maybe that's what we're talking about. But let me know exactly what you're talking about, because this is a good conversation. Okay, let's see. We got the Bruno says, is it worth to apply to become a special constable or jump straight to regular constable? It depends on what you qualify for. It depends on what you can get hired for. It depends on what you want to do. So special constables may or may not have to work shift work. When I got on, a lot of people didn't want to work overnights, and special constables don't generally work overnights, at least not when I was a court officer and the rank was court officer. Some people don't want to carry a firearm. Some people don't want to work those crazy shifts that we did. Now there's roles within special constable that do shift work, so it's different. And I said do. That's for Sergeant Campbell. So it all depends on you. If you're colorblind, I don't think you're eligible. You're not eligible for PC, but I think you might be eligible for special constable still. So there's a number of reasons why. But if you're just deciding to apply and you're like, what should I do? Just try for police constable if that's what you actually want to do. And if there's a problem, your consolation prize can be special constable. I'm not suggesting that special constable is less than, but go set your goals on what you want to achieve. Don't take the long route that I did. I actually became a special constable because there was a hiring freeze. I had a reason. You could not become a police constable in 2000 because, or at least when I applied in 99, because they'd frozen the applications. In fact, it took me like a year and a half to become an auxiliary officer because things were so backed up, so many people wanting to apply. And then they opened up auxiliary. I became an auxiliary. They opened up special constable while there was a freeze, so I became a special constable. Do whatever works. Try and get your groove on. And since we're talking about employment early in on the show, I will simply go here and say, go to www.tps.ca/careers to see this page. It is the recruiting page for the Toronto Police Service, my favorite police service, because that's where I worked and was a member of for nearly 25 years. So if you want to start off as an auxiliary like I did, maybe you don't want to be a police officer, but you want to have the opportunity to serve your community in a meaningful way as a volunteer. Well, auxiliary officer is the most unique way you can do that. Now, they are not currently taking applications, but learning about a position before you actually apply is a good way to prepare yourself. You don't want to be showing up saying, on a Monday they posted on Tuesday and you go, gee whiz, I heard about this yesterday. I'm gonna throw an application in, and you are not prepared, and then it closes because there's a window of opportunity for application. They close the opportunity before you even type your first word. So prepare stuff, get ready, and when it's ready, or when they have the opening, just send in your application. That's the way to do it. Okay. Information about this. See, they look like police officers, but they're clearly labeled as auxiliary officers, and they're doing meaningful work in the community. I think it is simply the best way to serve your community in a volunteer capacity. Special constable used to be court officer. That's here. And they do all sorts of things. I know this guy. I probably say that every time I see the picture, but there's lots of information here. Go through the website, see what makes sense for you. And of course, police constable, they are taking applications all the time. It's separate from the civilian list I'm about to show you, but this button's always active because they're always looking for police officers. So don't be discouraged if you don't see them here when you hit civilian roles, because police constable is not civilian. Makes sense? 4 jobs. They were there yesterday. I'll read them again. Senior business analyst, senior technical analyst, intermediate technical analyst, and communications operator. These are jobs you can apply for right now. If you know somebody who might want to join an amazing organization called the Toronto Police, tell them to go and check out the site today. Communications operator, in case you're wondering what those people do, they're the folks who answer the call when you need help. You call 911, that's who answers, and they have 2 sides of the floor. One side is the magical call takers, and then they shift it over to dispatch, and your call is then dispatched by a police communications operator so someone can come and help you. It's a great system, and they're the reason that police can do what they do. So if you're interested in a job, go and apply. We need you. Okay. Motorcycle Experience says, can you explain to us why radar detectors in Ontario is illegal, where in BC and other U.S. states they are legal? Well, every state and every province has different laws when it comes to radar detectors, but really it's ridiculous that anyone allows you to have a radar or laser detector. The goal of enforcement is to slow you down through education that comes in the way of a ticket. When I give you a ticket, it's not to make money for the city, although there may be a byproduct of it. The goal is to give you a ticket so you have a really crappy day. And I mean that with love. The idea is that you have a crappy day that sticks out. You know, when your dog poops on the rug, you go and yell at the dog, you bring the dog's nose and you put it near the poop and you say, don't do that again. The ticket is the same thing, but with paper, because we don't want to put your nose in poop. It's just gross. The idea of the ticket is so that you have a little sting to remind you that you did something wrong, because speeding is wrong. It's increasing your chance of collision. It's increasing your risk when collisions occur. The amount of damage and injury that occurs as a result of higher speeds is dramatic. And people will just want to say, well, I'm just going 10 over. It's not a big deal. I'm just doing 20 over. No, you're breaking the law. The laws are there for a reason. And to be able to say, well, technology is better now and cars can stop faster. And we've got airbags and roll cages and crumple zones that work better than we do. And that's why we don't lose more people to death. But there are still people dying on the roads every day, and it's unacceptable. That's what Vision Zero is all about. See, Vision Zero talks about the fact that all collisions are avoidable. Not because you're a skilled driver, because you should drive properly. So tickets and are an important part of that educational process. If I give you a radar detector, a laser detector, a jammer that prevents police from giving you that educational opportunity, it empowers people to speed and drive aggressively and dangerously, and then slow down because they've been alerted they're about to get caught and avoid being caught. And then they just go past that opportunity where police could have interjected and possibly saved their lives and the lives of others, and continued to then speed and act like children behind the wheel of the car, breaking the law. So why would any government allow people to have early warning systems to prevent detection of police or prevent the recording of their speed by police to then properly enforce and educate? It's ludicrous. And I don't know any police officer who thinks that they should be allowed. And I think they should be banned everywhere, because why do you have a right to be dangerous? Why do you have a right to break the law? Because that's effectively what we're saying you would have if you have the right to have a detector to prevent getting caught. No. If it's there's so many equivalents, but no, you don't have that right. And that's why. So hopefully that is an answer that works for you. If not, please ask. Again, ask differently. Ask for more. Happy to oblige. Grandma wants to know if dash cameras are advised and are they expensive? Dash cameras are absolutely the best way that you can record the events that take place when you drive, for TikTok purposes and for insurance purposes. So when something goes wrong and a collision occurs, it is the independent witness, the events being captured, that you can provide to your insurance company that say you did it right and the other person's at fault. Because when they say you did it wrong and the evidence is inconclusive and there's no independent witness, the camera is the only thing that is going to exonerate you. So I've had a situation, actually, it was a story that Sergeant Campbell told a number of times on the show. He was driving into the police station. He didn't drive into the station. He was driving to a garage. And in front of him was a vehicle that decided to back up. And he honked at the person, but they continued to back up. Turns out the driver of the other vehicle was hearing impaired, didn't hear him, crashed into the front of his car. That looks like he drove into them and not the other way around. Now, granted, he's a police officer, and granted, he had a dash camera. He was able to show the insurance company, who didn't want to accept the fact that he was not at fault. They wanted him to pay a deductible to get repaired. But because he had a dash camera, he was able to send them the video. And they said, oh, we totally see what happened. No problem. There will be no deductible on this claim. It wasn't his fault. But you don't have that. People don't stop and help anymore. Those independent witnesses, they've disappeared. There are very few people who care enough to stop and help these days. Okay. So yes, absolutely. You can get a camera for $50. You can probably get one cheaper. The one I put on Amazon is about $100. I suggest getting 4K. I wouldn't get something less than 4K because you can't read license plates well, and they don't have nighttime that's useful. So I've given an option. I've got a $500 option on the website at askatrafficcop.ca, and I have a $100 option available. Yeah, but there's tons of stuff. I bought a $30 one to test. It's sitting in my truck, stuck to the window. I don't use it though. Go away. Okay, says the range and price, but are very much worth it, especially in a collision. And Grandma says, what's the best way to find them? Go to the website. But yes, Amazon's the best. That's where I would buy it. And he paid $70 for his. Wacky Cracky says, did you retire? I retired from policing. Absolutely. I started a not-for-profit called Better Traffic. They are the I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button again. I pressed the wrong button. Here, bottom left there. Better Traffic Safety and Education Inc. is the not-for-profit, and the goal is to do presentations, continue doing the Ask a Traffic Cop show, and help people understand what the rules of the road are. It's entirely what I do, and I also have a media company and teach people about media and produce stuff for other people. But primarily, the part where I'm giving back is the education right here. So it's fun. And I get to still help people, which is important to me. Okay, Cano2 Gold says, do you have to pull into the intersection when making a left turn at a set of lights, or can I wait? You don't have to enter the intersection. You're giving yourself the benefit of a better view by pulling into the intersection, performing what's called an S turn, which is where you basically move over so that you are directly in front of the opposing traffic's left turn lane. So you can see past them as opposed to looking at the car that's blocking your view and then entering the intersection. And the thing, I honestly believe it is safer to do the S turn and enter the intersection than to wait behind the line. But you don't have to wait behind the line. Sorry, you don't have to enter the intersection if you don't want to, but I think it is the safer option. Cano2 Gold says, behind the line until the way is clear. When you're going straight through, by all means, do not enter the intersection unless there's a place for you to go on the other side. You should never be hanging out in the intersection. But when you make a left turn, there is a more than probable, what am I trying to say? It's a very high odds that you have somewhere to go, because rarely does it stack up. Now, if there is nowhere for you to go, it's gridlock, bumper to bumper, and there's no space for you to go once you've made your left turn, well, then you'd be absolutely right to wait behind the line, because if you cannot clear the intersection, you're responsible for it and could be charged. Canadian Ape says, stunt driving for jumping the green. And he was right. Do you know anything about FIS or ETF? I do. What would you like to know? FIS is Forensic Identification Services. They are the magical folks who do fingerprinting and blood splatter and dextering. They're the Dexters of our, well, partially that. They're not really Dexters. They're not, but yeah, in emergency, the what is it called? The ETF, the Emergency Task Force. They're like our SWAT team. I have friends who do both. What do you want to know about them? Okay. I got people here. I got people there. Let's go back over here. Okay. Brandon says, good morning, Sean and all. Sorry I'm late. Hope you have a fantastic day. Well, thank you very much, Brandon. What are you cooking today? Today's sausages, right? Last night, Brandon came online and said, I got an early morning, 4 a.m. He's making sausages and other stuff. I think that's what you said. Hope that's going well. Hope it's tasty. And Brandon's a chef, so I'm sure it's going to be. Okay. We got, one second here. I want to send a message. Testing. I'll make sure everything's coming across. Yes, it is coming across. Hey, it's Nicholas Rizzi. He decided to show up. Very nice. Motorcycle Experience says Garmin came out with a radar that detects vehicles surrounding the motorcycle but does not detect regular radar. Is this illegal? So it's a proximity sensor. So the U3000 by Thinkware has a parking mode with a proximity sensor. So is the Garmin one that detects it to turn on the camera? Garmin motorcycle. Is it GPS or dash cam? Let's check it out. See, this is the, here, I'll put this on screen. The M1 is the unit that my buddy has on his. I don't want 5% off. Go away. Not that I don't want 5% off, but that's the unit that I'll have to add to our link page. But these are waterproof cameras, and they're small. They're out of the way, and they're constantly recording forward and back. What you don't have is your head mounted camera. And for safety, you really don't want one on there. Let's see here. If I want to see Garmin dash cam, let me see if I can find. I just got it. My buddy gave me his old Insta 360 when he bought his new one, and I'm messing around with that. But that's another great way to record mounted to the motorcycle. That gives you the 360 functionality. Where's Garmin? Dash and backup cameras. Okay, I'm looking for the actual one for a motorcycle. I don't see it. What is the unit you're talking about? Let me know, please. So to make the search on the internet less painful. Nicholas Rizzi says, what was your very first job ever? How old were you? And what did you learn from that experience? Fantastic question. Not dark or ominous at all. And I see. I missed your earlier question, Rizzi. I'll go back to it. Okay. So the very first job, I think it was McDonald's. My first official, I went and got a uniform and got training. I think I was 13 or 14 years old at McDonald's. I still have my pay stubs. I was making like $3.25 an hour. And it was a great experience because I learned customer service. I understood the responsibilities of being on time and understanding the whole rank structure, because managers are your supervisors, and that's a rank structure. I learned how to deal with people and it started at a very young age. So I very much appreciate the lessons taught by McDonald's and people like Tony, who were my managers back then. And I had friends that I worked with. It was great. It was just a great experience. And I think that young people should get McDonald's jobs. I think that should be your first job, because you're not going to get the executive keys the day you apply to a new position. And you should probably get used to doing grunt work because it makes you appreciate better work. Yeah. Not that it's bad. Yeah. I still like McDonald's. I don't eat it anymore, but I like it. I drink their Diet Coke. Technology is better now. Oh, now. Technology is better now and more stupid now. Case in point, read my past questions. It's just, the biggest problem we have on the road today, and right, those are itchy. The biggest problem we have on the road today is the fact that people rely heavily on the technology and the safety functions of the vehicles we drive. They no longer simply drive. They drive while distracted by their infotainment system, their cell phone. They rely heavily on traction control, lane, stuff, dash cameras, backup cameras. Well, dash cameras are for recording evidence, but 360 cameras for parking. They do everything for you now. And if you take those away, people get really, really nervous. Nervous is bad. It means you don't have the skills to carry you through it, and you're relying too heavily on technology. And when you get into collisions, if you need the airbag and the crumple zone to absorb all the impact, I mean, it's great. And modern medicine's fantastic, thanks to all the paramedics who provide the life-saving measures roadside to make you transportable so you can get the doctors and emergency services at the hospital. It's important that we learn how to actually drive appropriately so we don't waste those magical resources of emergency services. We could just do better. Hockey Dad says, if I'm in school zone, can I text my friends to come join me for some light drinking and driving? Ahoy from the East Coast, by the way. What? I don't even know how to touch that question. I kind of regret reading it. Yeah, I know they're joking, but no. So what do we cover in their humorous question is they're driving in a school zone, they're texting on their phone while they're driving, they're planning some drinking and driving, and they're outing themselves for being East Coasters. But hey, it's yeah. I appreciate your attempted humor. Daily Q obviously asks questions on the Daily Q. Do you think Toronto's traffic would improve on roads with streetcars if replaced with buses? Hells yes. streetcars are unique to Toronto. There's very few cities in North America that have streetcars as we do. And it would be helpful if those tracks were in the curb lane, but because of our snow situation, it doesn't make it work. I think we could go back to the old school electric buses. Do you remember those in Toronto where they had the guide wires and they could change lanes and still run on electric power and didn't require tracks that are hell for motorcycle operators? And like, I know people on the motorcycle unit who have crashed because of those tracks. So yeah, I think we could do away with those. I don't like them. I mean, they're fantastic for large quantity or people movers. They're big, but I think they're terrible for traffic. Absolutely terrible. And think about it: if you had the same capacity, a double streetcar, but a bus, so an articulating bus, but it was electric, ran those routes, but could get out of the way. Wow, how much safer would it be for those people who are boarding and I was going to say planing and deplaning, busing and debusing, not having to cross a lane of traffic where some cyclist, motorcyclist, or driver ignores them and plows into them. These things happen. There's charges for it. They're putting in cameras now. Anyway, I'm not a fan of streetcars. I don't mind riding on them, but I don't think they're necessary. The only benefit, I think, is that they don't swerve very often. Yeah. Melody says, we need to get something set up where Brandon cooks for us for a change. No. She just wants the food. I want the food. We're all about the food. Barbecue. I'm all about the meat. Yeah. Steak. Burgers. Doesn't matter. What defines official jobs? I worked for a nearby farm picking rocks when I was in grade 3. Well, rock picking, I guess, if you get the ripe ones. I don't know. I mean, I used to help my mom out with her small business, but I mean, like employed with a paycheck. That's what I considered it. Shkoy, okay, says my first car didn't even any bells and whistles. I'm going to assume they meant didn't have any bells and whistles, let alone ABS. I'm with you. My first car didn't either, and I think I'm a better driver for it. There was no such thing as a backup camera when I was a driver. There was no such thing as a cell phone when I was starting to drive. Or if there was, it wasn't something that was in the average person's home or car. At very least, it wasn't a handheld doodad. It was a wired in the car kind of situation. In fact, my buddy's parents had the first mobile phone that I had ever seen. It looked like a old school rotary phone with no rotary. You picked it up and there was a red button on the side. And you pressed the button. You said, "Operator, this is ABC 123. Put me through to C3PO stat," and they'd connect you. And it was a chat line. It was a radio, and it was a chat line because anyone who picked up the phone could hear the conversation of other people. You had to wait for a break, and that was their thing. He was a plumber. He was needed it for business. They had all the coolest toys, and that was it. They were the first people I knew that had mobile communication technology outside of walkie-talkies in their vehicle. So yeah. That's what we've seen the most increase in technology. And are we better? Like, are we better people than we were 25, 30 years ago and suddenly capable of managing all of these different stimuli at the same time? We can barely take care of ourselves. I say as human beings, people can't walk and chew gum at the same time. They cannot do it. They take the gum out of the package, they put it in their mouth, and suddenly they're tripping on stuff. Well, you can't use your cell phone and drive. And there's a reason it's illegal. It's because people are driving into people and things and stuff, and it's bad. Okay. No one's first car should be smarter than the driver. I couldn't agree more. What did Daily Q followed up with Q-R? Do you think? I don't know what the R is. TZ joined. Hello, TZ. And by the way, hello to BoyMom8424, Nanimal, and Paul09, Myrtle, and who else is here? Oh, Neha says, morning, by the way. Didn't go to the gym last night. I did it today instead. I think morning is better for the gym. What do you think? I think in general it's better. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff here. Let's see. Dad joke. We'll flag that for in just a second. Because we're at that time, 11 minutes to go. Star Wars dad joke. Okay, here's a question from Rizzy. We'll put it on the screen. Questions about the open house. Okay, if I get pulled over, I give my license, insurance, but no permit. 2 out of 3 isn't bad, right? I can drive off with my car without my car being towed, right? Yes, document charges don't result in your vehicle being impounded. Yeah, that's a thing. You get pulled over, you might get a charge for $110 for failing to surrender the permit for your vehicle, but you've met 2 out of 3, and it isn't bad. Not good, but it's not horrible. And you may or may not get the ticket because it does. Just because you're being pulled over doesn't mean you're going to get a ticket. It means you're eligible for a ticket. And I always like to say that it's an opportunity to engage and teach. It doesn't have to be a punishment. If it's speeding, if it's cell phone, I don't believe that that's an educational opportunity other than one through enforcement. But you got one piece of paper you can't find. If everything else matches up, I think you're good to go based on how I would operate that stop. Okay. I see. What do we here for? Oh, I did not know this, but Rizzy says, did you know C3PO stands for Commercial Crew and Cargo Program Office? Commercial Crew Program? Really? Where? Why? How does it do that? 3C. Oh, CCCPO. Shouldn't it be 3CPO? Because C3PO doesn't. I guess no. I don't know. I didn't design it. I didn't write it. And thank you, Akela. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. If you're Meatloaf, fantastic album, by the way. Bat Out of Hell. My mind went there immediately, but I didn't verbalize it. Akela, thanks for forcing me to do that. Let's see here. Neha says, morning is better. You boost the energy to do things. I agree. And a friend of mine is trying to convince me to get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, go work out in the morning. And I'm like, no. I could barely get out of bed this morning. But I know that I did something right because my eldest, who has been raised right, got up and did everything they needed to do to start the day right. Made lunches, did everything. Oh, didn't make lunch. I got to go pick up lunch. I'm delivering lunch. They made breakfast. It's fantastic. Neha says, never been pulled over, fingers crossed. My friend's car got pulled over in college and I was anxious. The car got pulled over with you driving it or with them driving it? I guess it was them driving it. Christian says, I have a question, everybody. Okay, Christian, everybody's waiting for your question. Go away, okay, says, I work at 5 a.m. You won't catch me at the gym in the morning. I used to get up at 4 in the morning to go to work. I used to leave the house at 5 a.m. to be at work at 6 a.m. So I'm used to mornings that are early, but now I stay up way too late. Oh, it's Ryan Pin, Hockey Dad 9. Wait, which Ryan Pin? Did Hockey Dad okay, because there's 2 Ryan Pins. And one of them I haven't seen in a very long time. The Nova Scotian driving instructor. Is that the Ryan Pin? Did you change your username? What happened to you? Or is it the other Ryan Pin who's applied for stuff? Do tell. I need to know. Hockey Dad says ABS and ESC wasn't mandated in Canada until 2011. I'm going to assume it's my driving instructor, bugle playing friend from Nova Scotia, but I don't understand the name change. It confused me. It has confused me. It's me. It's me doesn't help me, Ryan. It's me. It could be either me. It's you. Wait, is it you? The you? I'm so confused now. Okay. Melody says, I started work 40 minutes early yesterday. That was hard enough to get up early for. Yes, no kidding. I hear you. Oh, RTD2 stands for Real to Dialogue Track 2. Real to Dialogue Track 2. Things I never knew and didn't need to. I guess if it's written C3PO, you could imply 3 C's. Lol. Very, very good. Okay. And Brandon says he's always up for cooking. Do you you don't cook next to your cars though, right? Your barbecue is far, far away, so you don't get, oils and residue because then you have to wash it. Speaking of which, there was a promotion on at Esso which gives you a wash a day for half price. And when we got in the car, my daughters and I said we were going to do every day a car wash, make our money worth. And we have not. We have not done it every day. I am disappointed in myself. So I'm going to get a car wash today. It's been like 2 days since I've had a car wash. Crash Support Network, how you doing? Nova Scotia driving instructor, Hockey Dad. Welcome back. Where have you been, my friend? I missed you. Really, your questions about driving. What's going on with the driving? Maybe you need to be on the show. You need to catch up. Give me shoot me a message. And what happened to your account? Your name is different. What goes on here? Okay, but now I understand the whole driving in a school zone, calling friends to drink and drive. It's a classic driving school instructor Ryan Pinn question, and I didn't see it. Okay. Christian's question. I was Scotia. Did you see my post yet? I was Scotia. I don't see your post. And now, if depending on what you said, it may have been automatically removed by TikTok. It does it sometimes, and I don't know why. I could not say, but it does filter things on occasion. Just saying. But I'm staring at the screen in case you try rephrasing it. All right. Have you ever pulled someone over and their stupidity was so great it hurt to talk to them, and after you took the rest of the day off? I've never taken the day off because of it, but I've spoken about it for the rest of the day and possibly the weeks that came afterwards. I have pulled over some incredibly unintelligent individuals who had difficulty stringing words together in defense of their horrible choices. Yeah. Christian says, what is 1,000 plus 1,000 philosopher? 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000 equal. Huh? I was expecting a traffic related question, not a riddle. Even if it's, I'm assuming it's not simple math. Otherwise, you wouldn't. There must be a twist there that I'm not picking up. But it was cut off. So equal RI. I'm assuming you get cut off. Why do people glide forward and stop multiple times at a red light? I mean, why do they keep moving forward? I couldn't say for certain what each individual was doing once while they were behind the wheel, but I'm assuming they're trying to trigger the light. Assuming. I don't know. Oh, Ryan Pinn needed an identity change. He was having an identity situation. V. Jonas joined. How's it going? Shkoe responds to saying, I do it as people in traffic comes up behind me and I go forward to close the gap. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if we're talking about shifting because someone moves, then it becomes a caterpillar effect. Interesting. All right, let's do some dad jokes and let's get out of here and start our days because it is the weekend. Oh, Hockey Dad talking about my buddy Frank Slope out of Pinal County, Arizona. Says, I've been getting a kick out of Fridays with Frank. Deputy Frank Slope from Pinal County, Arizona is awesome. And he and I have chatted back and forth, and I'm planning to go down and visit him and create some content, just waiting for the opportunity to make it all work. Okay. You should do a lesson on the difference between rights and privileges. Too many TikToks on people screaming at cops, I know my rights. They know their rights right up until they end up in handcuffs. Most of them don't know their rights or think their rights are their rights when they aren't their rights. And then they're breaking somebody else's, and that causes a problem. Brandon says, no, the Corvette is in Florida and the Mustang is in the garage and the barbecue smoker are in the backyard. So where in Florida? Are you staying in the Boca? Do you have a place in Boca that you leave it? I'm interested. I want to be a Bocaite. I want to move to Boca in my retirement at some point. Not my retirement from policing, but my later retirement because I like nice weather. And Boca seems to be the place. That's when everyone goes, oh my God, elbows up. Go to Florida. We like Disney, folks. We're a Disney family. We like Disney. Got to be close to the mouse. If a transport is behind me, I'm not as concerned if they're rear-ended about hitting the car. If a transport is behind me, I'm not as concerned if they're yes. Are you talking about? Well, they can't even see you if they're behind you. I don't like being anywhere near big trucks because I don't know who's paying attention. I don't know if the driver is a legit driver or someone who got there driver's license out of a Cracker Jack box. Oh, Orlando. Oh, even closer to the mouse. Right on, right on. I like Orlando too. I looked at that place too. But Boca, would you say Boca's better than Orlando? Well, no, you're in Orlando because you think Orlando's better. Otherwise, you'd be somewhere else. All right, let's do the dad jokes. I need to create an intro for it where you go, dad jokes. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Anyway. Akela's dad joke number 1. Where do baby Transformers come from? Optimum Prime. I like it. Optimum Prime. You know, the whole is, I am Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. Autobots, roll out. I love Optimus Prime. Optimum Prime? It's questionable. I can't even pretend to, I don't know what voice they would make. Ugh. They're creepy all of a sudden. It's a good joke. I like it. Star Wars dad joke. What do Padawans do when they're afraid of the dark? They turn on their night lights. Yeah, I can deal with that one. Oh, I had flagged this for later. Did you mention something about an open house on June 7th? Let's confirm the date because I have forgotten what dates they are. There are many dates floating around in my noggin. If you go to askatrafficcop.ca, and if you were to go and press show schedule out of the top, I'll share it with you. Shabang, shaboom. Here we go. And if you were to scroll up, way up. Hey, look at that. Saturday, June 7th. For some reason, the Toronto Police logo is not loading here. 43 Division open house on Lawrence Avenue East in Scarborough. Saturday, June 7th, 11 till 2 p.m. I knew it was the 7th. Look at that. I even have it so fancy where it blocks out and says AM or PM. It's got a little legend up here. I notice the legend doesn't have the Armed Forces presentation. I'm doing a number of Armed Forces presentations and school presentations coming up. So I will be out and about. But being as those are not publicly accessible, they don't end up in the in-person events box because that's for stuff you can attend. And, you should attend. Come visit the folks at 43 Division on Saturday, June 7th. It's going to be a fun. And it's probably going to be real warm. Here's a quote. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. That's Socrates, not Socrates. That's a different person. All right. Let's see if there's any other new comments before we say a goodbye. Okay, Melody says, my brother does heavy towing, was on Heavy Rescue 401, the pictures of the wrecks. No kidding. That was a show that I caught a few of, and that's with Sergeant that guy. Kerry Schmidt was on that. Yeah, it was Kerry Schmidt. I was going to say that it was my other former OBP friend, but Cam Woolley, but I don't think he was on that at all. I think he was just on Canada's Worst Driver and then CP24 doing his thing. The Real Walker Texas Ranger says, I've got a funny joke about a meter stick, but it's kind of long. For the Jedi's afraid of the dark, I would have to say they follow the light side of the Force. He was just making fun of them, but it was worthy of a rim shot. Okay. It has been an hour and 3 minutes and 12 seconds, and I am prepared to say goodbye for the weekend. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Drive safe, drive sober, park legally, because no one needs to see Aaron Urquhart angry. And I'll be back on Monday to do this all over again. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have fun. I hope the weather works for you. But I do hope that you drive safe, sober, and avoid issues, because nobody wants issues. And just because I'm a big fan of this song, I'm going to play this song again.
Roll the tape and catch the jam. One of these folks forgot the rules, or maybe more, playing traffic fools. Could be a left when they should have gone right. Could be a stop that flew out of sight. Keep your eyes peeled, it's going down. Someone's acting like a circus clown. Say what you see, don't let it slide. Drop a comment, take a side. Was it one or was it three? Who broke the law on your TV? It might surprise you who's at fault. Replay it once, it's your call. Tell us what you think you saw. Who just broke the traffic law? You're the judge, the screen's your court. Call them out, give us your report. Say what you see, be brave, be bold. This dash cam clip is about to unfold.
I had so much fun with that song.
Lights,
No, I don't want to hear it again. Once was enough. Okay, it's like twice in the show, but I love the song. All right, have a great weekend, folks. Take care. Oh, wait. I saw a message pop in. What's the message? The message popped in. It is, well, it's two. Is it? Nicholas Rizzi with a late dad joke. Dad joke. My wife said I had no sense of direction, so I packed my stuff and write. It's a groaner, but it's so fantastic. It's a fantastic dad joke, Nicholas. It took a second. My wife said I have no sense of direction, so I packed my stuff and write. It's all about the delivery, and I didn't have the best delivery, but I'm going to use that like 6 times today so I can then take it over and make it my own. Stay safe, and remember, don't have a good day, have a great day. That was from Michaela's. Why do I call Michaela's? Michaela Draconis. Michaela's is just combining the two in a really efficient way. Yeah. And Nicholas's joke is truly less dark than usual, but even the dark ones are funny. I just can't say all of them. Okay, have a great day. Take care. See you later. Bye. I see you, Tracy.